nobody has anything to protect themselves.
Hmm.
Think about the mobile detail guy. You think they got insurance? Or they got
True.
business insurance? Do
True.
they even
True.
know about that? It's like there's so many things that could go wrong. We're messing with things that cost so much money
Hmm.
that if something happens, what are you going to do?
Man, this is going to be a crazy good episode. We have a special guest this time, Trevor with the Detail Lab. We're going to be discussing some crazy in-depth topics all around detailing, the business side of detailing, things that we wish we would have done early on in our detailing businesses. So you're not going to want to miss it. And we're actually going to split this up into a 3-part series. And this is part 1 of the Detail Spot podcast with Trevor from the Detail Lab. So let's dive in. So, Trevor, you work in Frisco, Texas, in a detail shop there. How long have you been in business?
So I started detailing professionally. So when the LLC started, okay, in 2017.
Okay.
And so I was doing the mobile route. I was doing
Hmm.
mobile, and then that's when we actually purchased our first home too. So
Hmm.
it was mobile, and then bring stuff to the house when I could.
Hmm.
But yeah, 2017 is when it popped off.
Heck yeah. And how long did you stay mobile before you ended up getting a shop?
So I knew the where I wanted to go, like market wise, like
Hmm.
straight out of the gates. It's just like because of the circle that I ran with,
Hmm.
and dude, like if you said you've been out to Frisco, like
Hmm.
in the Dallas area, it is
It's
so
baller,
easy.
bro.
Oh,
It's
it's
baller.
if you drive down main, like real Dallas, like Turtle
Hmm.
Creek area, Mockingbird, over there by the airport, you're always going to see a Bentley. You're always going to see an Escalade or a G wagon. It's $100,000 plus cars. So me coming from the personal training side of the world, where I'm already charging $85 to $100 an hour, that's the only market that I was thinking of. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Why would
gotta
you go
go
down? Why
right.
would you
Yeah,
demote yourself?
yeah, and
Good.
I want to mess with the people because of
Hmm.
networking. I want to mess with those people that got those cars. One, how can they teach me or put me on game, or if we develop this relationship, where could that relationship go? They bring me into a deal or something like that. It's like there's
Hmm.
so many possibilities, but it starts with, I think, like identifying what direction you want to go with the business, because there's so
Hmm.
many directions nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. And that personal trainer aspect is already like a luxury service anyway. It's pretty similar to detailing if you think about it. It's like you
I feel it is the exact same, because like the things that I dealt with, like cancellations,
mhm,
day of, how to take the payment. Hey, like, or if you're doing like wash services, like that you talked about doing maintenance washers and doing memberships and stuff. Hey, we've got 3 sessions left. It's time to re-up, like those awkward conversations that you got to have. It was like me sliding into this industry. It was like, man, I'm messing with the same people doing the same thing. It's just a lot more labor.
it really is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it's you have the clients that go to that hire a personal trainer. They are the people that have money. You're not going to see and they're motivated too. So like people who are hiring a personal trainer, they're more motivated people, and generally more motivated people are the ones who have the money, are the people who can afford things like detailing. So it goes
I,
hand in hand.
I've always said, and I think, like, man, I wish we could do some data research on this because it would be so interesting. I think the best client is the person, don't get upset, but like this is just like, this is what I've kind of
Mhm.
seen. And the type of car you can afford at that point is about $70,000 a year to about $200,000 a year. That client right there, and the reason why I say that range is because most of the time those people, they've got 500, 700,000, 1,500, $2,000 of extra play money,
Mhm.
afford to go do a luxury good. Like, hey, I'm going to go see a trainer 2 times a week. It's going to be $800 a month, or 3 times a week, it's going to be $1,200 a month. Like, well, I have a high horsepower car that, that I'm going to go race to the drag strip. I know I'm going to have to buy tires, at least once or twice a month, depending on how hard I go on it. So, if you, those are the kind of niches you can go after. But I think that is like the best people because they have that money and they're not, I'm sure we'll talk about it in later ones, but like the bad experiences that you have with the people that have got everything, and they're the ones who are beating you up the most, like asking you for discounts, asking you for additional services, just because they have it all, or they've got millions of dollars, or $1 million plus home, $1 million of cars. It's just like you start to kind of fine tune who you want to work with and who you want to be around and network and everything.
Yeah, 100%. Like a lot of the richer people, probably like the ones above that 200,000, they almost sometimes get like a power trip and like want to use that. Like I've been there, done that, and a lot of times they really don't even have time to even care about building relationship with you. They may have some money.
You're a transactional item for them. And that's something I learned from
Exactly.
training too, is like, I only need you how much I need you,
Hmm.
and for a lot of those people that I'm sure you've dealt with in your detailing career, that I need you to show up, do the job, leave.
Hmm.
That's all we're really paid to do,
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
it's,
for sure.
I need you to come at the house. You said you're going to be here at this time. You have the garage code. I know that you're gonna do the job right. I trust you. Put all the keys back up, lock up the house, put the garage up, power wash the concrete. We're good. It's like
Yeah. And
those are
those
those
people,
people.
and they don't pay attention to like that unique experience that you strive for, that you pride yourself on. They don't even notice those type of things. Like, so that mid-range of people are the best because like they're like, man, I respect that dude's hustle. I respect the he went out of his way to do something different, provide me with a crazy good experience. But those dudes that don't have the time to think about it, those people
Right.
really, they may not return because they just want someone to come do it now, come get it done the same day. And then the people below that, they generally don't have the money to afford the luxury service. So they're not paying attention to it and they really don't care about it because they don't want to pay for it anyway. So I
Right.
agree with that. Like the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis, those are cool for content, but like the Mercedes, the BMWs, those are the ones that make you the money. Those Audis, like those really good cars, but like you see more of them.
Right. And I think the that clientele, let's just say like million plus, the million plus clientele. Um, they know what they want, but they don't know exactly what they're getting or how hard it is. And then the money to them is different, because some of them it's like, hey, no problem, $1,000, $1,000, here you go, no big deal. But some of them it's like, oh, it's $1,000. Well, what's your material cost?
They think too much. They're going
Right.
too
I,
deep.
I I need to see a breakdown of what, because like this is a crazy story. It's short, and I'll tell you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I had a Ferrari guy reach out to me, and he wanted to do clear bra. I mean, paint correction, two-step correction on a black Ferrari,
Hmm.
clear bra the whole front, and then coat it all. So I'm telling him everything, and he's like, he's trying to break down of it like a line item, like
Hmm.
what every single piece costs, because he wants to know what we're making per hour. And he goes, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a real hard time paying somebody that makes more money than me an hour. And I was just like, that is an interesting. I like kind of just took it in. I was like, okay, well, that's very
Gosh.
interesting. I'm like, well, you do know that like I'm about to spend 10, 12 hours of on your $250,000 Ferrari 458.
Hmm.
And at any time, the paint could be thin anywhere and I blow through it. So it's just
Yeah.
like, there's a
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like
It's
time and
liability
talent,
there.
man, time and
Yeah.
talent.
That's crazy, man. So, so you knew like right off the rip, you wanted to service those type of people, like those higher end people along the way. Like what, because I mean, you kind of started with an experience like most probably don't. Like most are not starting in there with a luxury type of service that they already know. Like I want to stay here or promote myself into a better career, like
Mhm.
detailing. That was like your promotion, pretty much. Like you knew you were already making $85 an hour as a personal trainer. You're going in to make more, start your own business to make more. Now, what was like something that you like new guys, they start and they're cool with making 20, 15 an hour, and they're probably not making any money really, but money's money to them. It's green, and they think that
Hey, and
it's
they're
working.
working.
For
They're
sure, for
working.
sure.
The
Hmm.
schedule's full. They're out there banging the streets. They're having fun. They're getting
Yep.
cash in their hands. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, I just paid everybody out and I've got like X. Like,
Yep.
yeah, dude, I know exactly. So like kind of like what I did was is like, and I've said it in my first kind of like beginner podcast is I was like, I would literally, because I had a sports car at the time, I had a CTSV.
Hmm.
I already had like detailed guys working on my stuff, so I would observe them. And then like once I got my home, I was like, I really like to get back in this business because I did it back when I was a teenager
Hmm.
and like going through high school and college. And I reached out to what I thought at the time was like the top guys in the DFW area. And I literally just hit them up on Instagram and Facebook. And I was just like, hey, man, um, I would love to just like be a fly on the wall at your shop and just like
Hmm.
observe you. Like, we don't have to talk. Like, if you can tell me to like do anything, I'll do it. Like, I just want to, get to know what is going on right now and, the news techniques and all that stuff. And do it like, the 3 guys that I asked, they were like, "No." I was like, "Oh." And so that motivated me, It's
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, okay, okay, let's go then. Let's go."
Could have been a lot smoother for them, like a better working within each, like working around each other. Now it's like fuel to the fire.
Oh, yeah. So what I did was is I looked at everybody's prices. Who's the top dog?
Hmm.
Where do I go from there? And where do I wanna start? Because, like, I think this is the biggest issue that we have when you start the business is, like, you're doing these very small prices and you're going above and beyond to get the client to buy in on you, and then they're telling people, well, dude, you just sold yourself short because you just sold your first guy, or that really good established relationship, you sold it at 80 bucks and you're worth 150. Well,
Hmm.
guess what? That guy's going to tell his 10 other friends, dude, he just did an amazing fucking job and it's only 80 bucks. And then it's now like, great, you
Yep.
got 10 new clients, but dude, you're not making the money and you're doing the work.
Yep. I within the detail community, like what I was telling you about yesterday was we do like monthly trainings and monthly lessons come out. And this month of the coming up February, the lesson is like, what you have now, like what clients you have now. If you're still continuing to try to find those clients and you're still saying yes to those ones that you really don't see yourself doing in 2 years, you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're kind of like crippling yourself and postponing how far you're going to go. Because like if you were to take on clients that you want to do 2 years from now, like that's what your dream is, that's those type of clients are your goal. If you're not doing those type of clients now, you're not going to attract them. Like you do you what you detail is what you attract. So like premium clients want to
Totally.
see that you're providing a service for other premium clients. So like those low quality people or those low quality clients, they're just telling their other local. Generally, they hang out with who they are. So if they're a low quality client, they're hanging out with other low quality people, and they're telling those people, and then you just keep stacking your schedule with other people just like that. So it's like you're postponing or you're decreasing the amount of time it could take you to get to where you want to be.
Yeah. And what is so wild about that is that I still see it to this day, and I'll get on to them. I'm like, don't hate on it, guys, but like I think this is key information, and I just feel like that it works. Is like, how many times have you seen Ferrari do a commercial? How many times have you seen a Lamborghini commercial? How many
Not where
times have you
they're.
seen a Rolls Royce?
Hmm.
Like, do you ever see them doing this?
Mm-mm.
I think specials kill these detailers so quick is because they've established a price, they've established a clientele or whoever they're going to start going after, and then they get slow. Dude, it's like around Christmas time, I literally like I'm like, who's doing specials now? Like it's slow time. It's just like, and then I see it, and then they'll complain like, dude, I just sold 10 jobs at $600, and I'm like, yeah, but that's your normal $1,200 job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
They're
like,
just
cool,
working twice as hard for it now.
yeah, great, you stacked the deck, you got all that cash in quick, but it's like, okay, again, those people now think that you're $600.
Mm-hmm.
So any word of mouth that goes out now is, hey, Trevor's $600. And then that's a communication error that happens when you get face to face with the client, is because they have the expectation already that they're paying $600, and then you hit them like, hey, total job is 1,800, and they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's I actually had that happen. It was over an email exchange. Lady thought that the total price was 800 because I have each service broken down into its own separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up to my door to literally drop off the car. Everything's great, been a great experience. And then she drops the car off, and I go, hey, I'm just letting you know, like when you come pick up tomorrow, you've already paid the first 800. We got the second 800 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like you saw the blood trying to come out of her face. I was like, yeah, it's 1,600. And I walked her in, and I had to like show her the price sheet. It's like, yeah, it's everything separate. So it's like, we're doing a correction and
Mm-hmm.
we're doing a coding. Those are separate. We add them together, tax included. Boom. That's just your final price. And she was like, okay. But I mean, I annihilated this black Lexus for it. It looked
Yeah,
amazing.
that's
But
good.
like,
At least she was cool. Like, at least she
yeah,
was like, okay, I messed up.
you got to get those prices down. And I think you got to stick to them, because if anything, it's in the following years that you start hiking them up, you
Mm-hmm.
know, market inflation,
Yeah.
just like the dealership.
Yeah. And those guys that did it for that $600 during that promotion, they'll do it for $600 again. Like that, you just showed your
Totally.
bottom dollar. Like you just showed
Right.
you're selling a car. It's like you're telling that guy, you say you want $12,000 for that car, but you'll take 10, and you told them before you go to meet what your bottom dollar is. Those clients that are coming in, they know your bottom dollar now. They know what you're willing to take. So you're going to have people come in, and they're either going to come in and negotiate, or they're just going to wait until you offer that promotion again, because you're going to offer it again.
I know that I literally have already had this conversation. Like, please, I had to tell one of my buddies, I'm like, please stop doing the specials, dude. I was like, it is going to kill you. I was like, that's why you have these ebbs and flows of your business, is because if I was your client and I had multiple cars, all I got to wait for is you to get slow, and then for you to pop up your special. And then
Yep,
boom,
100%.
and then I've got you.
I want to take a break from the episode really quick and tell you about something that is now available to the detailing industry, and it's now available to you to join. And it's called the Detail Community. And what it is it's a full library of resources, lessons, trainings on how to either start, grow, or level up your business. Doesn't matter what stage you're at. You can come view this at any time. You can come check this library out at whatever stage you're at within your business. You may be looking to dominate your area online, how to rank on Google, or you're looking for proven sales strategies that will make your business more money, or how to create a unique brand so that it stands out to your potential client. All of that plus some is included in this detail community. You get access to all of that, and you get access to everything else that is added, because new monthly content, new monthly trainings, lessons are coming out every month. And you're not going to want to miss out on all that, because it's going to cut down that trial and error phase of doing business. It's going to cut out that taking years to succeed. I'm going to show you everything that is proven to work, and everything that some of the top performing detailers are using within their business. And here's the coolest part. You get risk-free. You can try it risk-free for 30 days for only $1. After that, you get a founding member rate of only $27 per month, and it's never going to go up. You're grandfathered in at that founding member rate of $27 a month, and you get access to everything now and everything that is available in the future. Here's something else that you get. You get the community aspect of it. Detailers are joining every day and you get access to them. You get to connect with them, have them in your corner to ask questions, in-depth questions, and get in-depth answers back. And you get to share your wins and your action plans with them so you can hold each other accountable. That's what's so cool about this. And you can try it risk-free for 30 days for only $1. And then after that, your founding member rate of only $27 a month. So I definitely recommend joining. This is going to be huge for your business, huge for you personally, and we can't wait to see you inside. All you have to do to join is go to thedetailcommunity.com/join. Or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, the link will be in the show notes. Again, it's thedetailcommunity.com/join.
Just like, I think you got to do, before you start, you got to do the market research of who's in your area, who's charging the most, what kind of price are you willing to do for the work.
And the detailers that will do the promotions, and they'll bank their entire, they'll run a promotion for holidays, they'll run a promotion for, and dude, they'll run it for every holiday. It'll be Valentine's Day, it'll be Thanksgiving, Halloween, birthdays. So like whenever you do that, it's like those every client that follows you on Facebook or follows you on Instagram, those people will wait until you run another promotion, and they're going to tell all their friends, wait, because you just exposed what your bottom dollar is. It's like,
Yeah, that's what I would do. If I had 10 cars, I would wait for you to have a slow time. And then,
yeah.
hey, I know Christmas time next year, I'm getting another $600 one. Why? I mean, like, I can wait. If he's going to do a full paint correction and coating on it, that means I get a whole year beating the shit out of my car before I go drop it off to you. Like,
yep. Yeah, they will, it's like if you had, yeah, like you said, if you had 10 cars, it's like, and you'll do the buy one coating, get the other, you'll see that a lot. It's like, bro, what? And the thing is like, if you were to just stick to your guns, and you may not, it's not instant money. It's kind of like you are
just like
holding out, like,
SEO.
it is, man. It's a long-term thing. It's like building a standard for your business. And if you were to wait, like just never do a promotion, say, hey, I'm the guy who is what my price is. I charged what I'm worth, and that is what it is. That's going to make you so much more money long term. It's going to get you to where you want to be quicker than running those promotions. Yeah, you think those promotions are making you a ton of money up front, and money's green and that's all you see. But like long term, for like where you want your business to be, sticking to your guns and just saying, hey, this is my price. It's always my price. Maybe like an additional service, say they buy a coating package for $1,600, and say, if it's a selling point, this is kind of where I will negotiate a little bit. Like, if this is what gets you in the door for that coating and that paint correction price, I'll throw in a glass coating, something like that. That's an okay one, but like upfront telling, exposing all of your cards, saying, hey, this is as low as I'll go on my package. You're negotiating yourself at that point. Like, you see these detailers all the time who say, hey, I hate when a person negotiates with me. Well, it's like, you're negotiating with your own business. You're saying, hey, this is what I'm going to charge, or I'm willing to take. Like, so I think,
Well, what about this part? So you special, you hook the
mhm,
clients in, you got all these brand new guys. Okay. You bust out all the jobs for them. Everyone's
mhm,
paid, everyone's happy, everyone's got their cars done. You don't run another special, or like, let's say that they go buy another car, or they go do something else. They come back to you and you've raised the price now $600. Now it's your
mhm,
real $1,200 price. And now they
yep.
come back and they're like, whoa, dude, like I can't even do business with you now. And then it's like you're back to square one. You're negotiating with them again. It's just like, I think you got to set your prices in stone, and then the only thing that you do with those prices is you go up from there.
So like whenever you first started, you kind of already had that up. You already had experience in like doing something more premium. Now, what is something like you wish you would have done differently, like when you first started?
Have policies and procedures
Okay.
that I had nothing. Nobody has anything to protect themselves.
Hmm.
think about the mobile detail guy. You think they got insurance? Or they got
True.
business insurance? Do
True.
they even
True.
know about that? It's like there's so many things that could go wrong. We're messing with things that cost so much money
Mhm.
that if something happens, what are you going to do? It's just like, so like, and I would say this is an advice thing for everyone. The bad things that happen in your business are not failures. It's a learning opportunity for you to make something to put in place where that doesn't happen again. You're all it is, any objection or any bad things that happen, something drops on a car or whatever. Now there's a policy and a procedure in place to protect that from ever happening again, which is just covering your own ass. And like, what I saw in this car industry as a whole is what I felt like when I was going through the experience of building my CTSV. Is like, you go drop your car off over at this place. You have no idea when the thing is going to be worked on. You're not getting updated. You're spending all this money. It's kind of this up in the air thing until the very end. And one of the first shops that I ever really like learned like proper customer service was this local mechanic shop slash paint and body and kind of everything. Now it was called JP Euro. And
Mhm.
like I went there for just like some simple stuff, and like literally they're taking pictures of when it's in their bay, when they're working on it, when they're installing the part, how's the part sound or look or whatever the case is. Hey, we're out on test drive. Hey, we're in detail. Hey, we're in quality control. Hey, it's ready for you to pick up. I was floored, dude. I was just like, oh my God, why doesn't everybody do this? And
Yeah.
then that was something that I added into my detailing. And then, like, dude, it. People love the foam picture when you
Yep.
shoot the car down with foam and it looks all sexy and like you send them the picture, they're like, oh shit. And then what happens? Two things happen.
You rinse it off.
Well, no, well, like, I mean, like network wise, right? Like
Yeah.
they put it out on their Facebook, they
Oh,
send it
yes.
to
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
best friend, or like they put it on their Instagram. And it's like, that's the eyeballs right there. That's what
Mhm.
drives the business, not fucking tossing up these specials, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And like that communication you do with the client as well, like whether it be, say it's a heavy paint correction, like you show them before and afters.
Or
You,
when you're during it, like it's the
yep,
discovery of it. Be like, hey man, like I got on the back bumper this area and it looks like it's been repainted. Look,
yep.
boom.
You're
It's
saving your ass,
credibility
man.
and
Yep.
transparency with them, which they love. They
Hmm.
will they will tell more people about those things like that than probably the actual job.
100%.
Like
It's like,
go ahead.
it's like if you are touching base with them, you touch base, like say you're doing a coating, a correction, it takes like a day or two, and you are, you're telling them everything as you go. It's going to make you more money too. Like you find something else you can add. It's like, hey, I did notice this, like when the car comes in, it's dirty. Once we get it under the lights, we see this. Would you like to add it? They could add it, they could not, but it could make you more money, and they appreciate it. And they now know if they don't add it, that it's not going to come out. So it's like saving you and making you more money at the same time. So they know what to expect from that area that you told them about, but then also you have the potential to correct that area if you can and make more money on it. So it's like a win-win-win.
I call it the first interaction with the client when you get face to face with them. I call it the client discovery, where it's like we go through, hey, let's look this car over together.
Mhm.
I want to know what your eyes see that my trained eyes see. Because once you kind of go through that process with them, number one, both of your guards are down because like, if you're a real businessman, you're being honest.
Mhm.
Like, I'm showing you what I see. Tell me what you see. Okay, well, do
Mhm.
you see it the way I see now? Like, that's why this level one that you're wanting to do isn't going to work when we really need the two.
Yeah.
If it looks like this, what happens when I clay it and it looks worse than this, but I've already told you it's going to be this.
Mhm.
Now I've shot myself in the foot. I was like, let's go over this together. Once I clay it, you're going to get pictures and everything like that. Once the iron fall out, we get it all cleaned and prepped and
Mhm.
everything, and then it's in the detail bay. Boom. This is raw paint. This is what we have to work with. This is what I suggest. Like, they love, I mean, it's just like if you were doing a deal with somebody, you would want to know if they're about to do some shady shit. It's like the more
Hmm.
transparent you can be with them, the more trust that you build with the client, they're going to share that experience.
In return, like
Oh
they're
yeah,
always, they're going to be a client for life at that point.
because
Like
they
the more you
trust
can
you. It's
talk to
like
them.
boom. It's just like, oh, hey, as soon as the car comes in, just go send it over to Trevor. It's just
Yep.
like that's what starts to happen, and then you start getting into like crazy land. Where it's like
Hmm.
you got dealerships dropping cars over at your place. It's like
Yeah.
it's I think establishing the trust, establishing the price, sticking
Hmm.
to your guns, and then like we were kind of getting on topic of like learning these policies and like procedures and stuff to protect yourself, because a lot of the time, like what we were talking about with the money, it's wake up and go go go. It's like no one's looking at this at the end of the day. How much does an actual detail cost me? Like for real, like if you guys have you guys broke that down before, like how much material does it cost me, how much does it cost me on the towels, the soap, the rags, and then you look at it and you're like, okay, my $150 detail really cost me about maybe $20 in product. Okay, well then there's time too. So are you paying a guy to work on the car with you? Or like whatever that looks like. It's like I don't think everybody's sitting down like a businessman and really looking at like,
Hmm.
hey, this is what I'm gonna make. They're like, hey, I have a goal to make $100,000 this year, whatever it is.
Hmm.
And then you start like, oh my God, it's only gonna take whatever amount of like coatings it would be to reach that. But like,
Hmm.
I've only got to do this. But then like you don't could put in the real cost, you don't put in the labor.
Yeah.
And it's just like then at the end of the year, you've done all this work and you didn't make any money.
That's it for part one of the Detail Spot podcast with Trevor as our guest from the Detail Lab. So make sure to stay tuned for part two because we're going to go even further on growing your business and some experiences Trevor had in his detailing business. So make sure to check out part two. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I would greatly appreciate it if you could leave a review. This greatly helps the podcast grow even further. And we talked about the detail community. Consider joining that risk-free for 30 days. Your first 30 days, it's only $1 to join. Check that out. You're going to get so much information and the community aspect of it where you can connect with other detailers, other like-minded detailers. So stay tuned for part two of the Detail Spot podcast with Trevor at the Detail Lab.